Hello, fashionistas, trendsetters, textile nerds, stylists, or whatever your relationship with fashion is. I'm really happy you're here. Welcome to the very first episode of the Modern Modish podcast. So this is a podcast where I'm going to talk about all things that are modern modish. So if you're wondering where the word modish came from, it is a kind of like a catchphrase that was used in 1600s England, and obviously modern because that applies to the here and now. So modish, an old word for everything fashionable, and modern, here and now. Modern modish, you get the picture. So if you've never seen my face or heard my voice, my name is Analia Hines, and you're probably wondering why the heck I'm qualified to talk about fashion. I'm not, but for starters, I am 21 years old. I am a college senior, and I go to Milligan University in Upper East Tennessee, and I'm from about from Champaign, Central Illinois area. But I'm majoring at Milligan University. I'm majoring in communications with an emphasis in public relations and advertising, and minoring in psychology. So not really fashion hubs of anywhere. So because of my health issues that I had in the past, my doctors encouraged my mom, because I didn't have a lot of control with what was going on in my life. My doctors encouraged my mom to just let her pick out her clothes because it's something she can control and something to kind of look forward to. So I started picking out my own clothes from a very young age, and fashion has always been a part of my life from then on. So, fashion has kind of always made me feel safe because it's something I could control and I could experiment with, and it was something fun for me to do, kind of like a hobby that wasn't school related, or it didn't have anything to do with my extracurriculars, and it was just me, something I could do on my own or with friends if I wanted. So you have a background about me and kind of what this podcast is. That brings us to today's episode, Thrifting 101. And yes, this is a class because thrifting is a lot, especially recently. So I started thrifting in high school with my friends. I started thrifting in high school with my friends because we were all kind of involved in theater and we were on the hunt for cheap costumes. So we went to Goodwill, kind of in search of those cheap costumes. For reference, the musical was Footloose, and I was playing the teacher. So I needed some old lady clothes. Anyway, not important. So we kind of made it a game of who could find the wackiest thing in the thrift store. And so it kind of just spiraled from there, that it became a whole hobby for us kind of to do on our own and on the weekends. But something that really influenced my interest in thrifting was when I started watching Emma Chamberlain's YouTube videos. And if you don't know who she is, then I'm sorry, you've been living under a rock for the past 4 years. She's basically the most popular YouTuber kind of ever, I guess. So she made a lot of her videos and a lot of her brand, I guess, since she is an influencer, on thrifting and styling clothes, and that's kind of what really inspired me to do it. So I started thrifting seriously, I guess, in college. And because I started thrifting seriously in college, it just kind of spiraled from there. So what am I going to talk about in Thrifting 101? You are probably wondering. Because so far, it's just been me kind of rambling. So first I'm going to tell you why I thrift. I thrift because it's fun, but I've kind of already talked about that. I also thrift because it's better for the environment. It avoids a lot of textile wastes, which this is going to be split up into 2 episodes because there's my personal relationship with thrifting and then the planet's relationship with thrifting. So easy answer right now, it saves on textile waste and it saves me money, and it's something I can do with my friends. 2020 was a crazy year, but my friends and I could always count on thrift stores to go to for fun and to find something new. So how to thrift. Actually, I lied. First, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite thrifted pieces, including this red shirt. It's just a nice basic and it's very comfy, and I actually got it at a thrift store my school did to help raise money to end slavery. So that was really cool. So now let's get into some of my favorite thrifted pieces and kind of where I got them from, because I like when people do hauls and things like this because it's, you know, you never know what might come of it. Maybe you'll get a new idea or get inspired. Maybe you won't. I don't know. So this is, I'm really into turtlenecks recently. So this is kind of a pink, it's not super cottony. I actually don't even know what it's made out of, but it's not super cottony, and it's kind of a light pink. And how I would style it with another thrift store purchase is a sweater vest that I've been really into recently. I am a big, strong sweater vest supporter. This one is from the brand Chaps. I got it from the men's section. So I would style these and layer them because it's getting cold outside. And I also wear it casually, and I also wear it with dress pants, and it works for professional dress days. So next, also, sometimes you can find name brand things at thrift stores. Like I found this Nike sweatshirt at Plato's, but when you shop at places like Plato's as opposed to, and like Plato's and other resale stores, it's kind of already picked through for you, so it's you don't have to do the digging basically. So it kind of all depends on where you want to thrift and how you want to thrift. So anyway, this is from Plato's Closet. Plato's is kind of a chain thrift store if you haven't heard of it, and it's Nike. So sometimes I find all the luck in the world with pants, and sometimes I don't. So these are American Eagle jeans that I did find at a Goodwill. They're baggier. Sometimes I cuff them, sometimes I don't. Depends on what shoes I'm wearing, but I love thrifting denim because it's already worn in, it's already soft, and it's just great. So these pair of pants actually have a story behind them. I had to fight my best friend for them because she found them first. Caroline, thank you for giving me these pants. I love you for it. They're just a nice little elastic. They're not parachute pants completely, but yeah, and depending on how you style them, you can dress them up, dress them down, like kind of the sweater vest type deal, but I wouldn't pair that with a sweater vest. I just don't think that would work. This sweatshirt is another one of my favorites, also red. I've been getting into red recently. I wear things ironically because I think they're funny. This says, "My grandkids are dear to my heart." I'm 21. Obviously, I'm no one's grandma. If you thought I was, we might need to have a conversation about that. But I got this from an online thrift store called Good Fare. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out. I got this in like a grandma sweater bundle, which basically it's kind of a gamble, but it's also kind of fun, nice surprise at the same time, where you pick like a package and they'll send you certain things. So I got the grandma sweater bundle, and grandma sweaters is exactly what I got, and I wear this all the time because I think it's hilarious. My next one I also got from Good Fare, but in a different bundle. This, I was so shocked when I opened this because it's Ralph Lauren and it's a name brand, and I'm just really obsessed with the color blocking. So this is another one of my favorite thrifted pieces. And then last but not least, one of my favorite places to thrift is my dad's closet. Dad, if you're watching this, which I bet you are because you're my dad and I love you, are you missing this? Because I have it. So if you're like me, you're obsessed with big comfy sweaters, and this one also represents where I'm from. Go Illini. So thrifting from your parents' closet is always a good idea. I never had siblings growing up. Never had closets for them to steal from. So that's why I kind of stole from my dad instead. So you're probably thinking that that's great, Analia, you have all these wonderful thrifted pieces that you like. But if you don't really have a personal relationship or experience with thrifting, you might be wondering how you maybe go about that. Which is why this episode is called Thrifting 101, because what are 101 classes? They're for beginners. And if you're not a beginner, maybe, you know, I can rewire your brain or give you a tip that maybe you didn't think about before. So my first thrifting tip is that you can't really walk in with a specific item in mind. You can't be like, I'm gonna find the perfect pair of Levi 501s, just because that's not how thrifting works. Or I'm gonna find the perfect pair of jeans or this gray sweater vest that's from this specific brand. That's just, you can maybe do that with like American Eagle, but this is thrifting, and that's really not how life works. So I would not go in with specific items, but on the other side of that coin, have a game plan in mind. So for example, when I enter a thrift store, I go straight to the denim, and I go immediately to my size. Normally sizes like that are kind of blocked off. And first I go through what kind of color I'm looking for to keep me from sifting through all of the denim, because sometimes thrift stores have a lot of denim. So typically I go for like lighter shades of denim. So I will kind of go through and go by feel first, and then go by size, brand, whatever I'm feeling. After that, I'll go to the t-shirt section. English is hard. The t-shirt section, typically the men's t-shirts, because we all know they're better than women's. But that's where I'll go first, and I'll kind of sift through my size, or even a little bigger, because clearly I like oversized things. I mean, what 20-something teenage girl doesn't like oversized things? So then I will probably go from the t-shirt section over to, goodness, see, I switch it up every time depending on who I'm with and what we're doing. Then we'll typically go to the sweaters, or sometimes Goodwill has like a boutique section, which is like kind of their handpicked what's probably going to sell faster. And then I don't shop thrift like jewelry as much, even though I probably should, because you can find a lot of really cool things when you shop jewelry. My last thrifting tip is to go with friends, because obviously that makes it so much more fun. But if you're not feeling like super social that day, or you just need a way to decompress, thrifting is always a fun way for me to decompress personally. So there's that. Okay, I need another second because I'm at 15:28. Do you want me to? Okay. We'll just keep going, I guess. Okay. I think I'm ready now. But if you are not in a position to shop in person, there are some ways you can definitely thrift online. For example, a website that I love is called Goodfair, and that's where I got my red grandma sweater from. And you can pick different bundles or different items, and they will ship items to you, and you just pick your size. You don't get to pick what the specific item is, which kind of makes it more fun and surprising. I've gotten some really cool stuff from their website, so shout out Goodfair. I have a sticker on my laptop somewhere, I don't know. But I also really like Goodfair. Another place where you can thrift is online, is kind of online stores like Depop, Mercari, things like that. But that's often from resellers, so people who are selling things fresh out of their closet, or they will go to the thrift store, buy things purposefully, and resell it for kind of an upcharge, which we can get into that in Thrifting 102. But that's typically how that's done, which that takes a little more search, looking for something specific, or just having apps like Depop curate a feed for you. I also know, like on TikTok recently, that a bunch of people are like, let me style you, and you can buy a styling package from them and they will go out and thrift for you. I think that is so cool, and I so enjoy watching videos like that. Here are some of the TikTokers, I don't know which side of me it's going to be on, but whatever. Here are some of those TikTokers that I've enjoyed watching and I think are super cool. So if you want more ideas, definitely go check them out. I'm gonna have to stop at like 17 minutes.
That's okay.
Okay.
What about, I guess you already answered that question. I'm gonna ask one.
I'll just take
I
it
just
out.
feel like you covered.
I did, yeah.
What you could say is, I hope you look forward to my next episode that's gonna be on.
That's true. That's true. So pretty much that's all I have for this Thrifting 101 episode. I hope maybe you picked up a tip or two or learned something, or maybe you're planning your next thrifting trip or whatever. But thank you for tuning in and watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next episode.